What is the Jura Z10? Why does it exist? And should you consider owning one of these? Well, Jura Z10 is one of the top models of Jura. And Jura, if you don't know, is probably the best manufacturer of super automatic coffee machines in the world. It's kind of like the Porsche of our industry. Now, we find there are two types of people who gravitate towards the Z10. One is an experienced super automatic user who's just outgrowing their current machine, whether it's missing features, it's getting old, the temperature of the drink is not hot enough, or problems like that. Those people will find amazing features in the Z10. One is a touch screen. If you prefer buttons, you can control the machine using a rotary dial up there, so both way for you to interact with the machine. As far as customizability, drink temperature, this machine allows you to control the temperature of the milk, hot milk, and the froth as well as the espresso. The level of customizability on this thing is second to none. Also, the fact that you get cold brew. Cold brew is a big deal in the super automatic world, and the Jura Z10 is one of the first machines to offer it, and it does a great job. So it satisfies a lot of the concerns of an experienced super automatic owner who's looking to upgrade. But also we get a lot of people who are beginners in the super automatic world. They're just tired of the whole system they have now, whether it's a French press or a puck they use or a drip machine. They want to get the best quality drink, cappuccino, lattes, Americanos, espressos, but without the learning curve and without the hassle. So with the press of a button, with the least amount of involvement, you get amazing quality drinks consistently every time you press that button. That's how the Jura Z10 satisfies the need of beginners into the super automatic world. So when it comes to the taste of the drink, customizability, longevity, and quality, the Z10 holds the gold standard when it comes to super automatic coffee machines. Now, how many drinks can you make on the Jura Z10? Well, if you read the literature, it says 40 specialty drinks. Well, you have to remember those 40 specialty drinks stem from the 16 drink menu selection that comes on the machine, and it's just variations, either of double shot of those drinks or cold versions of those drinks, or the sweet foam function of those drinks. The easiest way to show you, look, first of all, you have 3 screens. Each screen has, in this case, 5 drinks. You can customize all that. You get espresso, coffee, cafe barista, Americano, cappuccino, latte macchiato, macchiato, cortado, flat white, cafe latte, 1 portion of milk, just milk foam by itself, espresso doppio, jug of coffee, hot water, and hot water for green tea. That's 16 out of 16 drinks. You make 2 drinks at the same time on the Jura Z10, and can you make 2 drinks at the same time on all the drinks? The easiest way to make 2 drinks at the same time is by going to these 4 bars up here. When you press that, you'd see the third option is 2 cups. You press that, and that allows for 2 drinks being made at the same time. So I'm talking about 2 separate grinds. When you do that, you will also see certain drinks line up. Not all drinks can be made with this option. So here you will see, here, let's go again to double cup. Here, you see the 2 espresso light up, 2 Americanos light up. You see 2 coffees light up, and you see 2 cafe baristas light up. And you don't see any milk-based drinks lighting up here. The reason for that is because there are 2 espresso spouts, but there's only 1 milk spout. So only espresso and coffee drinks that do not use milk can be made 2 at a time. You add a product to an empty screen on the Jura Z10. Okay, the machine out of the box comes with 2 screens already filled with the drinks assigned to them. But let's say you want it, because you do get more drink options, you wanted extra screens, and you wanted to occupy them with your drinks or your favorite drinks. And the way you do that, you see there's 5 places lit up right now. You just press and hold on whichever placement you want, and this menu pops up. And in this menu, it says product, replace product. Press that, and then you choose which product you want to be displayed. Let's see an Americano to come here. And it says, do you want to replace the product? Yes. This also means that if you, for instance, on the first page have cortado and you just never drink cortados, you would hold the product, and then we'll talk about the other menu options, but you will see a replace product here. So you could replace it with another drink that you take more often, for instance. So that's how placement of products works on the Jura Z10. What does this button do on the Jura Z10? Well, that button is called the Aroma selection button. And what it does is it allows you to, without having to go into the settings menu, change the parameters of the espresso or the espresso in whatever drink you're getting very easily. Let me show you how it works on two different types of drinks. Okay, so we press the Aroma selection and press coffee. Now you see the only parameter you can change here is the grind size and also the strength of the drink. And you can change that any way you want very easily. You can just start making the drink, but that's coffee. It doesn't have any milk. How about a drink that has other parameters involved? Let's say flat white. Same thing. Change the size of the grind or strength of the espresso, or how much espresso you want there. How about a cafe latte? You get the point. The idea is for this one drink, this one time, I want strong or weak, or I want to change the grind. It's just a one-time thing. You can change it on the fly. And that's why this is a very helpful button, the Aroma selection button. The story with the settings menu on the Jura Z10 and what settings can we adjust anyways. To get to the settings menu, we press on this button and you see two settings menu. One is for maintenance and one is the machine settings. We're going to talk about the machine settings here. And you will see here there are two screens. There are two screens, one out of two. So one is smart mode. This is pretty interesting. Instead of you adjusting which drinks come onto which page, because you can have multiple pages, it'll learn which drinks you use most and it'll just bring them to the first page for you. So that's pretty cool. Product name. Do you want the product names displayed or do you want to guess which drink is which? We like that. You can also have a different number of screens. So you have this particular machine right now has, let me see, going all the way back 3 screens, but you can change that. So and the way you do that, you go to settings and number of screens and you can go up to 5, I believe, no, 4. So you can change how many screens you have. Number of products per screen, like how do you want one product displayed up to 5 products, or you want to let the machine do the work for you on the automatic setting right there. Wi-Fi connections, you could connect this to your Wi-Fi and then connect to the Joe app. How long after you're done with the machine do you want the machine to rinse and go off? Let's save it at 1 hour. There we go. And you could choose different languages, of course, and I'll just go very quickly through. Some people may recognize a language they prefer. And so that's that. Factory settings is just, do you want to go back to factory settings or not in this case. So the second page, the way you get to the second page is there. Now, water hardness is very important. You want to know how much your water hardness is and tell the machine, because it does adjust its settings as far as also how often you need to, whether it's descaling or cleaning. Do you want the units in milliliter or ounces? Just information, general information on the software. Accessories, you could connect through Wi-Fi. So you could have a cool control, for instance, connected to the Wi-Fi there. Display light, how up to 100%, obviously. Empty system is very important if you're leaving the machine out, especially if it's cold weather. That will, water remaining in the water lines will freeze and damage the machine. So if you're not using the machine for extended periods of time and you live in Canada, you want to empty the system. How many products it shows you. This machine's had, let's say, 33 espressos, 11 coffees, 12 Americanos, so that's good. Also, maintenance counter tells you how many descaling, or this is a pretty new machine, so nothing has happened there. That is the settings menu on the Jura Z10. You add a product to an empty screen on the Jura Z10. Okay, the machine out of the box comes with two screens already filled with the drinks assigned to them. But let's say you want it, because you do get more drink options, you wanted extra screens and you wanted to occupy them with your drinks or your favorite drinks. And the way you do that, you see there's 5 places lit up right now. You just press and hold on whichever placement you want, and this menu pops up. And in this menu, it says product, replace product. Press that, and then you choose which product you want to be displayed. Let's say an Americano to come here. And it says, do you want to replace the product? Yes. This also means that if you, for instance, on the first page have cortado and you just never drink cortados, you would hold the product, and then we'll talk about the other menu options, but you will see a replace product here. So you could replace it with another drink that you take more often, for instance. So that's how placement of products works on the Jura Z10. You customize and make a flat white on the Jura Z10. All right, to customize any drink, we press and hold on the drink. The menu pops up. Here we have the parameters of the drink. We can change the name of it or our version of the drink saved under our name. Permanent selections, I'll show you in a minute, and you could just replace the product if that's not where you want the product to be, or you want it to be something else on the main menu, you didn't want it here, or you wanted something else instead. Anyways, we will go back to product settings, and you see a whole bunch of settings here. Pretty straightforward, actually. So you get to change the consistency of the grind from fine to coarse, depending on your beans, your taste. How strong you want the drink to be made, the espresso to be made. This is the volume of the espresso. It says 60 milliliters in this case. We'll keep it at 60. No problems. And then how many seconds of milk? So Jura does milk in seconds. 14 seconds. We'll just keep it the way it is. That is just milk, but this is milk foam. 4 seconds of milk foam. So it's a lot of milk and just a little bit of milk foam. This is really cool because with the Juras you can control the temperature of the drink itself, medium, low, high, or milk temperature and milk foam temperature, and they go from 1 to 10. Keep it at 8, and then same thing with the foam, 1 to 10. Not all machines can do this. This is a really nice capability. Press save. That saved all of our settings. From now on, every time I press flat white, it'll make it exactly this way, unless if I change it on the fly, because it does give you the option to change things on the fly if you one day for one reason you decided you like it a different way for that particular time. Permanent selection is if you wanted this drink to be made always as a cold brew, you can just save it here, press that, it'll be a cold brew. You could have double shot, so it'll brew twice, it'll grind twice and brew twice, 2 shots into the drink. You cannot make 2 at the same time, or you could use ground coffee instead. We're just going to keep things the way they are. And press on flat white to get what drink we get. There we go. All right, it's a beautiful drink. It smells great. Cheers. You customize and make an Americano on the Jura Z10. To customize the parameters of any drink in the Jura, all you do is press and hold on that particular drink, until a menu pops up. Here you see quite a few options. First is product settings. You could name the product a different, or your version of it a different thing. You could have permanent pre-selections. So from then on, that product is only made in that particular way. Or you could just replace the product on that menu with something else. Now in this particular case, we want to customize the drink. Well, for an Americano, we have a few options to customize. First thing is the grind size. Depending on the bean, you may choose to have it grind finer or coarser. You could have the strength, always maximum maybe. And we also have the volume, how much drink. Now the maximum we can go, because we have a large cup here, is 240 milliliters. So let's see how much that is going to give us. And oh, so that's the amount of espresso. I apologize. The amount of espresso we want to keep down here to what it was, 115 to 120. The amount of added water is we want to go all the way to the top, and you could also use the button here to control these. And 240 milliliters either way is the most amount of either espresso or hot water you can add it onto it. The temperature of the drink, you have the options for high, normal, or low. Obviously high always. So let's save that and now make a drink here. So now if we just save all those parameters, next time we press on the Americano, everything is saved. So that those settings are going to apply. Remember, you can also change things on the fly as well, okay? So for instance, I had saved 120 milliliters for espresso. Let's say I feel like that's too much. I can reduce that on the fly, regardless of what settings we just changed. So let's say I'm going to keep it to 90 instead of 120. You could also, remember, you could make these into ounces if milliliters is not your thing. We had espresso, and now we have hot, clear water going through. And for the sake of this experiment, we're going to say thank you very much. So cancel, we're done. And that's how you make an Americano. And it's beautiful, actually. How do you customize and make a cappuccino with the Jura Z10? To customize any drink, you would press and hold on the drink until the menu opens up. And this menu allows you to change the settings or the parameters of the drink. You choose permanent setting for the drink. I'll go through that. If you wanted this particular version to be under your name, so you could save it to your profile, or you could just replace cappuccino with another drink if that's not where you wanted it, for instance. But in this particular case, what we want to do is we want to change the parameters, or at least learn what parameters we have. First is grind size, how fine or coarse you want the grind to be based on your beans and your preference. Strength of the drink, we want it all the way to the maximum. This is a touch screen. You can control everything from here. It's a very responsive touch screen as well. This is amount of milk foam, and Jura always allows you to choose milk foam based on seconds. We're just going to leave it at 14 seconds, but you could go all the way up to 45 seconds. All right, so I think we had it at 14. We're just going to leave it there. Volume of espresso, 90 milliliters. You could change the milliliters to ounces if you wish, but you could go up to 240, which is just, it's not espresso at this point, that's a coffee, but 90 is fine. The milk foam temperature. Now, not all coffee machines allow you to even choose temperature. In this particular case, the milk foam can have a temperature of up to 10. We're going to leave it at 8. And the temperature of the drink, which would be your espresso, you can have high, normal, or low. We're going to keep it on high. Once I save this, every time I press on the cappuccino, if I don't save it under my name, just cappuccino, it'll make it exactly the same way. If I save it under my name, then I'll be looking for that raw cappuccino, for instance. Now, as far as permanent selections, you could choose that this drink is always made as a cold brew, if that's your thing, or a double shot, if that's what you want. Or now in this particular case, it does not allow for 2 drinks at the same time, because the Jura Z10 cannot make milk drinks 2 at a time, just 1 at a time. Or you could always use ground coffee for it. None of these appeal to me right now, so I just want to go back And once I press on that cappuccino, it's going to start making the drink exactly the way I just designed it. And for you to see what is happening and what the machine is doing, funny enough, you could actually, if you wanted the one-time change of any of those parameters, it does allow you to change things on the fly as well. So nothing is written on the stone. So there we go. That's your milk foaming, 14 seconds. Just gonna keep 14 seconds the way it is. That's the volume of espresso. Again, that could be adjusted as the machine does its thing. And my friends, that's one beautiful cappuccino. Smells great. Cheers. Does the Z10 make just regular coffee, and how do you make one? Yes, as a matter of fact, a pre-selected drink in the Jura Z10 is just regular coffee. The way you customize any drink, including this, is touch and hold. A settings menu pops up. You can change permanent selection, replace it, give it a name if this is your particular way of drinking it. You want to name it under your own name. But the product settings for coffee are as follows. First, you have grind setting, which is how coarse or fine you want the grind to be, depending on the kind of beans you have. The strength of the drink, which we always like as a maximum, what the volume of the drink should be. It goes up to 240 milliliters. You can change this into ounces if you wanted to, and the temperature, high, medium, or low. Once we save this, from now on, that drink is going to be made exactly in the same way. As far as permanent selections, you could decide if you always want this drink to be made in a cold brew or two drinks at the same time. So you would press this and save it, for instance, and from there on, every time you press coffee, it'll make two coffees at the same time. Not in this particular, so we don't want to change anything. But then how is the drink made? Again, we've already done the settings. Let's see what we get here. Again, you could also change settings on the fly. Like right now, the portion of the drink I can even increase or decrease if I wanted to, just if I changed my mind in that one particular time. And the way coffee is made, unlike an Americano, is just it runs more water through the same pot. With the Americano, it mixes espresso and then it gives you clean hot water. This is more like the drip coffee that we are all used to. And it's a beautiful drink that smells great. Cheers. How do you make a cold brew drink on the Jura Z10? In order to make a cold brew drink with the Jura Z10, what you want to do is press on this bar up here and a few options pop up. The first one is a snowflake, and that will determine which drinks you can make as cold brew. Now in this particular case, you have coffee, cappuccino, cafe latte, flat white. You have cortado, and latte macchiato espresso. Those are the drinks you could produce as cold brew. If you press on any of these, the water tank, the water in the water tank is not heated up to make that espresso, which is a feat by itself, really, because the machine is not using the advantage of hot water to extract the flavors of the coffee. So it does take double the amount of time to make that espresso. It's about 90 seconds or so. And it drips down just to make sure it extracts the coffee. So that's how you would make a cold brew. What drink customizations are available on the Jura Z10, and how do you customize a drink if you wanted to? As far as customizability is concerned, Jura's, all of them, specifically this one, give you the most amount of customization you can get on any type of a drink. Even on a single espresso, just to start with the basics, you get basically the most amount of options as to how you want the drink to be made. Whether it's the consistency of the grind, how coarse or fine you would want it, the strength of the drink, obviously that's how much coffee is grinding or how much beans is grinding for the drink, the volume of the espresso, and also the temperature. And that's just on the simplest, easiest drink you can get. The same thing can go as fancy as a cappuccino. Now once we get that cappuccino, you will see quite a bigger selection. That's just because milk and milk foam is added to it, so you get the same consistency of grind, you get strength of the drink, you get milk foam, and cappuccino gets milk foam in seconds. All Juras always do seconds, but the really interesting thing is Jura also allows for you to determine the temperature of the foam. No other machine does that. This is very, very, very nice. A lot of people, if they have complaints about the drink not being hot enough, that would not be the case with the Jura Z10. You also get the volume of the drink and temperature of the espresso. So that's, let's say, on a cappuccino. Now let's say select the drink that has both milk and foam option. Let's see, here we have a latte macchiato, for instance. So this should give you the full range of customizability, and you see that. That's pretty nice. Again, consistency of the grind, the strength of the espresso that's going in there, how many seconds of just milk, because with the latte macchiato is milk and then it rests and then it's milk foam. So there's the amount of seconds in milk, how many seconds of milk foam, and then what kind of a pause do we want, because we want the milk to separate from milk foam, so the espresso will kind of sit in between there. So you can even determine how many seconds to pause. And then volume of your espresso, temperature of the milk, again, really cool, temperature of the foam and temperature of the espresso. So I don't think there's any machine out there that gives you this much control on how many different parameters you can choose to control. Not only that, you could determine if it's a cold brew, double shot, or 2 drinks at the same time, which is awesome. Now, how do you make a double shot on the Jura Z10? Here's the idea. You want your drink, but you want an extra kick. You want the extra shot to go in there. Without having to go to lengthy menus or sub-menus, this is the quickest way to make a double shot on any drink. Okay, the quickest way to make a double shot is this menu here. You see these 4 buttons? If you press that, you are presented with a bunch of options. The bean you see there, that is what's responsible for making double shots of a particular drink. So it literally will brew twice for the same drink. In this particular case, you'll see the latte macchiato comes up. You could get cappuccino, latte, flat white. So all the ones with the beans are the ones you can actually do a double shot on. See that? Okay, so we have a cafe latte, flat white, cappuccino. Here we don't have anything, and then here we have latte macchiato. The other way to do this is presenting. Oh, sorry. The other way is getting the double shot here and then going through the drink selection here, and then you will see again cappuccino, latte macchiato, flat white, cafe latte are the drinks that you could make double shots. Now, what if you wanted double espressos or 2 shots of espresso? Well, all you could do is you could make your espresso drink and then just press it again, or you would use the 2 drinks option. I will make 2 espressos simultaneously. How do you customize and make espresso on the Jura Z10? Now, to customize any drink, including the espresso on the Jura Z10, you press and hold the drink in mind, and a menu pops up. You get product settings. This is the parameters of the drink. I'll show you in a minute. You could change the product name to whatever your version of this product is and just save it under your name, where actually you can go up to 8 user profiles if you just wanted your version of that drink, or just change the name of it to whatever you like. Permanent selection, I'll show you in a bit, but product replacement is if you just didn't want espresso to be there, you wanted something else to be there, for instance. So let's go back and show you product settings. Now this is the parameters you can control for espresso. You can control the grind size depending on your beans or your taste. You can go from fine to coarse. 5 of those grind size ideas there. You get how strong or how much coffee you want ground. So the strength of the drink is very important. Volume, 45 milliliters. You could change the milliliters to ounces if you wanted to. The standard is 45. You can go up to 80 millimeters of espresso, which is pretty cool. We're just going to keep it at 45 for the purpose of this. Experiment temperature can be high, low, or normal. Let's keep it on high. You press save. And once you save this, that product is just going to be made exactly in that configuration if you don't change any of the parameters on the fly, and I'll show you that. You could choose for this drink to be permanently made as a cold brew, so that's an option, or a double or 2 drinks at the same time. So you see there's no option for a double shot because you get 2 drinks at the same time. There's 2 espressos at the same time, kind of works as a double shot, or you could use ground coffee to make that espresso. We're just going to keep things the way they are and basically go back to the main menu. And so anytime I press espresso, it's just going to start making it the same way. Let's just press on. Now, it's actually interesting that you can change all these parameters on the fly as well. If you felt like this version or today, this drink you wanted made in a different way. But if you don't do anything there, then it just remembers everything you saved from last time. Beautiful. And for the coffee connoisseurs, you will have noticed it's not too fast, it's not too slow. It looks great, has great crema. Cheers. How to customize and make your latte with the Jura Z10. Customize any drink on the Jura Z10. You press and hold on the drink and a menu pops up. And this menu consists of a few options. One is the product settings, which is what we want to go into. You could change the settings and then use it under, and then save it under your own name. So that will be your version of that drink specifically, or multiple people's versions of drinks. You could go up to 8 user profiles. You could have permanent selections or replace that product and with something else on the menu. Not to make it too complicated, we're going to get into the settings menu and you'll see this bar pop up. Now here, the first option there is consistency of the grind, like how fine or how coarse you want the machine to grind the beans. This really does depend on your personal preference and the type of beans you're using. The strength, obviously, of the espresso. We want to take this as you require. For us, it's maximum always. This is the volume of the espresso. Okay, 90 milliliters. You could have this in ounces if you wanted to, but that's the standard. We're just going to leave it on standard. You could go up to 240 in this case, which is just too much. So 90 is fine. We'll just keep it at 90 milliliters. This is how much milk, and Jura does milk in seconds, so we're going to keep it in seconds. Okay, 10 seconds is what the standard is. Let's just keep it there. Next one is milk foam. Now in this particular case it's 0 seconds. I want to add, let's say, 8 seconds of milk foam to this drink. Temperature of the espresso, you could have it high, You could have it low or normal. Temperature of milk. This is one of the only super automatic machines where it does allow you to change the temperature of the milk and the milk foam as well as the drink, which is really cool. You can go up to 10. We're going to keep it at 8. It's good enough. And milk foam temperature, you could also change all the way up to 10. We're going to leave it at 8. And once I save this, then every time I press that latte, this is how the drink is going to come out. Just very quickly, permanent selections. If you wanted this drink to be specifically made always cold brew or always with a double shot, then you could adjust that. You could save that here, or always with ground coffee. You cannot make 2 cafe lattes at the same time simply because Jura doesn't allow, it only has 1 milk spout down there. So 2 drinks at the same time is only for non-milk based drink. Okay, now once I have saved all that information, all I need to do is press on the drink and the machine will remember all the settings as saved. You can actually change all these settings on the fly as well if you change your mind, or just the one time that you want to make changes to it. You can change pretty much all those parameters here as it's making a drink. But right now, this is what we had just saved. Cheers.